Wet phone? Stop right now. If you put it in rice, you may have just made things worse. This Samsung came in like this. It won't turn on, it won't charge, it doesn't respond. We plug it in, and look at this. 0.44 amps. It's alive, but dying from the inside. Water is corroding the motherboard right now. Every minute that passes, the chances of saving it drop. The customer said, it just got a little wet, a little, and it's already on the edge of becoming a brick. Now we only have one chance. If we can't stabilize the current and push it above 1.5 amps, this phone is gone forever, and so is all the data inside it. Honestly, forget about rice. Forget about internet hacks. Online, people show quick fixes because they get millions of views and a lot of money. I'm telling you this from real experience. In our workshop, we see the real consequences. Phones that could have been saved, but arrived too late. Today you're going to see the real procedure we use in the lab to try to bring water-damaged phones back to life, even when they look completely dead. Let's try. Let's open it. Now. Not tomorrow, not later. Right now. Because when a phone gets wet, every minute counts. The longer it stays closed, the more corrosion spreads inside. We start by removing the back cover using a plastic pick, carefully, because even though it looks like a simple step, you can already damage something inside if you apply too much force. Next, we remove all the screws. In mid-range devices like this, the layout is usually the same. The motherboard at the top, the battery in the middle, and the subboard at the bottom. So far, everything looks normal, but that's about to change. In this video, you're going to understand something critical. Why a water-damaged phone needs to be taken to a repair shop as soon as possible, or at the very least, why you must disconnect the battery to slow down the damage. Because if you don't, the problem keeps getting worse, even if the phone is turned off. And now comes the part most people don't see. Manufacturers always hide traps, hidden screws, weak points, designed so that if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you end up breaking something. If you're a technician, you already know this game. And here's a perfect example. Right under this cover, there's a hidden screw. If you miss it and start pulling, you can destroy the phone in seconds. We remove it. And now, we finally reach the motherboard. This is where things get serious. Now comes a critical step. First, cut the power. We disconnect the battery and the button flex. It sounds simple, but if you keep working with the battery connected, the corrosion keeps spreading. And now, be very careful. In the center of the motherboard, there's another screw. And this one is dangerous, because if you don't see it and try to lift the board, you can snap it in half, literally. And at that point, the phone is beyond repair. We remove it and keep going down. Down here, we have two critical flex cables. They come from the lower section, the display, and the charging module. These cables are essential. They carry all the data. They deliver charging voltage. They power the board and the battery. If one of these fails, you can have charging issues, or the phone may not turn on at all, or even lose audio or signal. And in water-damaged phones, these are among the first to fail. This blue cable might look insignificant, but it's not. It's a coaxial cable. It carries radio frequency signals. Without it, the phone can lose network completely. Now, we can finally lift the motherboard, and this is where reality hits. Look at this. This red sticker is a moisture indicator. It should normally be white, but when it turns pink or red, it means one thing. Water has gotten inside, and not just a little. And this is only what we can see on the surface. What really matters is inside. That's why we moved to the microscope. This is where the real damage shows up. But first, let's check the subboard. We remove the screws, disconnect the connectors, take out the flex, and here we have the charging module. This part is critical because it doesn't just handle charging, it also includes antennas, loudspeaker, main microphone, direct connection to the display. If this part fails, you can end up with multiple issues at once. Charging, sound, signal, display, everything. And here we see the same thing again. The moisture indicator is red. That means the water didn't just enter in one place. This device is affected throughout. And now, we're going to see how far the damage has really gone. Now, microscope. This is where the truth shows up. At first glance, it looked like a normal phone, but once we zoom in, the real problem appears. Corrosion, and this isn't random. In about 70% of cases, corrosion attacks the connectors first. Why there? Because these are very fine traces, but they carry a lot of current, more voltage, more amperage, more damage. Let me explain it simply. It's like a road. The more traffic it carries, the faster it wears out. Same thing here. The most worked lines are the first to fail. Now we take a closer look at the area. We need to see exactly where the damage is, because not everything is lost. Not yet. Now the real work begins. Repairing, cleaning, rebuilding. With the right tools and a steady hand, these pads can be restored. As you can see, not all the lines are damaged, only the most stressed ones, the ones carrying the highest load. First step, cleaning. You can use isopropyl alcohol, but in the workshop, we use something more effective, electronic contact cleaner or professional ultrasonic cleaning, because this isn't just about cleaning, it's about stopping the damage. Now comes the delicate part. Removing the corrosion, we start scraping it away slowly. No rush, no force. One mistake here, and you can destroy the trace completely. You can use a scalpel or a precision file. But this isn't about the tool, it's about control. Once the area is clean, we move to the next level. We apply flux, and now we solder. With a fine tip and very little solder, we begin to rebuild. Personally, I prefer using solder wire. It gives me more control, more precision, a steadier hand. You can also use solder paste. It's easier. But here, we're focused on doing it properly and maintaining precision over time. Step by step, we bring these pads back to life. This is no longer cleaning. This is micro-repair. And this is where everything is decided. If these points work again, the phone has a chance. We rebuild all the damaged lines, the critical ones, the ones that were losing connection. Now it's time to reassemble. In reverse order. Motherboard, charging module, connecting flex. But we're not done yet. Before closing everything, we test. Always. And here's the important part. This device got lucky. The customer brought it in quickly, very quickly. That allowed us to dry it properly, special oven around 30 minutes, stop the corrosion in time, limit the damage. In the end, we only had to rebuild 4 or 5 connectors, with several damaged traces. But many times, we don't get there in time. And now, the moment of truth. We connect the device to the testing machine. No theory here. This is where we see if it lives or not. We measure voltage, we measure current. This phone should be able to charge up to 25 watts, but right now, that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is this: did we make it in time, or is it too late? And there you have it. After the entire process, the device responds, which means one thing: it still had a chance. But that's not always the case. In about 20% of cases, water-damaged phones arrive too late, and at that point, there's nothing left to do. So let me tell you something clearly. If your phone gets wet, don't wait. Don't try internet fixes. Take it to a repair shop as soon as possible, because every minute counts. And if this video helped you understand that, support it. Leave a like, subscribe, and share it, because this could save more than one phone and more than one headache. See you in the next challenge.